So, hi, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for sitting down with me again. I know you were gracious enough to sit down with me before.
Anytime, of course.
So, as you know, I am a student in social service work, and this is part of my course. So this is actually the second class, so this is interviewing. And basically, the way that we're going to do this is we're just going to talk about you. We're just going to go over whatever it is you want to go about. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to come back with whatever it is organically you want to talk about. So first things first, though, I just want to let you know that there is an informed consent with this. So what that means is that anything that we talk about stays between us unless certain criteria are hit upon. So things such as and including if you were a danger to yourself, to others, if there's any information about a minor being in danger, have being in danger previously in any sort of which way. Those are kind of the biggest pieces when it comes to the informed consent. At any point, you can ask for this video to stop and for this conversation to stop, and we will stop. Basically, this is just you understanding that I can keep this confidential up into a certain place where then I am actually bound to report it to the police. So like I said, if I feel that you are a danger to yourself or to others, or if any sort of minors are involved in any sort of illegal encounters, whatever the case may be. So basically, yeah, do you have any questions about that?
No.
No? Okay. Here, if you want to take a look at it, read it over, if you have any questions.
Okay.
And like I said, at any point, we can always stop. You're not obligated to do this in any way. Great. Thanks. So, let's talk about you. Last time I talked to you,
Yes.
You were having some boy problems, and then obviously we talked more than that. So you were looking into med school and now you're not. What happened?
I knew this was coming. So I like backstory, I guess.
Whatever you want. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about your decision to not do med school?
I actually feel very confident in it.
It's good.
Yeah, I for the longest time, not for the longest, well, I guess backstory. For the longest time, wanted to do physio. All of high school, I set myself up. I did a co-op in high school and, kind of started to look into different fields of it or different environments of it. And then I went to university, did my undergrad kind of in that department. And then in my last year of my undergrad, I was taking my rehab courses, obviously, and came across a doctor who I guess inspired me to consider the possibility of med school. And I did. I was very excited as soon as I heard it because the way he portrayed it, as anyone would be when they're talking about their own career, made it seem like this was like for me, like it, not so much the title of the job, but the qualities of the job or the day-to-day life of the job seemed very much like up my alley. And it kind of made me doubt everything that I had thought previously about doing physio as, physio's too easy, like challenge myself with med school. I knew physio wasn't easy to get into, but I thought I'd be bored with it because it's, working within a box and you stay within that box. You don't really go outside of it. And then I met with him quite a bit, and then I, took it seriously and I went and I invested in a med school prep course, did that, took my MCAT, gave that a try, was planning on taking it a second time. But then I think, I also was working full time, so I took time off work to study for the exam. And then kind of in that shift, I started working at a physio clinic, and I realized that what this previous doctor had set up as a day by day, kind of I was getting in that experience in a physio clinic, and I was loving it. Like I thought I would. Like it had all the job qualities that I wanted without having to be a doctor. And to me, when I was studying for my MCAT, I saw it as, I want to be a physiatrist. Unfortunately, I have to go to med school to get there. Like you can't, like I knew that's not the way someone going through med school should think. Everyone, is like, you should want to be a doctor from the point of, knowing what a job is. Like everyone else was like, oh, like at 4 years old, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I kind of came across it, considered it, and kind of jumped 100% into it. As I guess I'm someone that does that in every aspect of my life, I jump in.
Are you?
Fully, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. What makes you describe yourself?
Well, even if I look at like relationships, like I literally within a month, I'm like all in. Like I'm ready to like I'm like all in. Like if I'm interested, like I'm interested.
So you're a very strong commitment person.
Yeah, so I gave everything. That's why I even quit the job, like everything like that. I was like, this is my priority.
Mm-hmm.
And
quit
so
what job?
The preschool job. I was working as a preschool teacher. Didn't have anything to do with what I wanted to do as in my future career. So I decided to quit that along with the awful drive that I had to do to get there. Right. So it just didn't add up. And so I thought I'd work part-time and more something in the field here. And I found this job that I have currently now at a physio clinic. And it's just, everything made sense. I loved the environment. I loved the kind of people. I loved that client aspect of things. And I realized that, to me, one of the most important things is working with clients and, spending that time with them. Like, I literally could spend 20 minutes with the client and, like, barely even do an assessment because I'm just talking, like, bad thing, but I'm just talking to them the entire time, where I realized, I started to look at the job aspects of a doctor, and I realized it was more, you're in, you're out, you sign the papers and on to the next one. And
is that how you see doctors? Is that your own personal experience with doctors? Is that how
a lot of personal experience? Yeah, a lot of personal experience, but also I just knew that I saw myself happy on both ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And I knew one, was like I could specialize in both. So I saw the pros and cons to both, but then one I know you're gonna say the easy way, but it wasn't it wasn't the easy way out. It was the route that I wanted to take, because I think of everything else but a career in my life, like family life and this and that and travel, like just everything made more sense at the physio than with the med school, because the med school was 9 years of school, and you have to start thinking about when you're gonna have a family and plan it, and I'm like it wasn't worth it to me. I didn't want to be a doctor. I wanted to be a physiatrist, but unfortunately had to go through med school, and you just can't think like that. And I didn't have the drive, and I knew I'm someone that when I'm interested in something, I will give it 100%, and I wasn't giving it 100% in my studying, and that really showed. So once I switched gears to physio, and I knew and I felt confident with my decision, I think I've given almost everything since to that, and I'm excited, and I want to do everything I can, because even looking back at the med school application, I knew I needed research behind my name. I knew I needed to volunteer, but I never went out of my way to get it or look for it or, better myself in my application. I never took those steps, where with physio, I'm always like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do to better my chances to get in?
So what I'm hearing you say is that you were going down one stream.
Yeah.
Your goals was to be the physiatrist, and you basically realized that goal wasn't worth the level of commitment it was going to take for the 9 years or so, and now you're going through for physical therapy because you feel that it better suits your overall life goals.
Yeah, my lifestyle.
And your lifestyle that you want to have as you grow up and, move on and do whatever it is you're going to do. Is that kind of the thing, because of your values when it comes to family and all these? I think that, and also I just know my personality well, that when something is right for me, I will put the effort in. I'm very, not stubborn, but I'm very, I go at my own pace. I think we talked about this before, maybe even last time, but I will not do something if someone tells me to do it. I only do it when I feel like it's time for me to do it. A stupid example, but my mom, she's ever clean your room. I won't do it. I'll do it when I feel like it needs to be done, or when it's bad enough, or just anything in my life. I'll do it when I'm kind of ready to take that step. So you're not a people pleaser. You don't do things to make other people happy. You do it when you want to make yourself happy. Sometimes I get joy out of pleasing people, so I'll do it. But yeah, I would say I would do it when it suits me. So for me, I saw myself even more as a physio personality. All my undergrad, everyone, all my professors that knew me well, I was describe that to me. What does that mean, a physio personality? What does that mean to you?
Okay, so to me, a physio personality is someone that is totally people person, caring, sociable, but very smart, problem solving, like everything that goes into the job. Like I love solving problems. I love talking to people. I like even running my own business side of things. I knew that was an option with physio more than even med school. Like I knew the physio that would, from family members doing it in the past and stuff. It just, everything lined up to how I even saw myself. Where...
So you see yourself reflected in the characteristics that you perceive a physical therapist to be.
Correct.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
So do you feel that moving forward, now that you've alleviated that stress of worrying about your med school, like you stated before, you weren't overly thrilled doing your MCATs and you weren't motivated, do you think that that lack of motivation and that frustration, and from what you were saying, you know, with choosing between the physiatry and the physical therapist, do you think that maybe that was leaking into other parts of your life, like relationships with guys?
100%. For me, like, oh my gosh, I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed it seeing me every day, but I have had such a shift in just, like, honestly, every aspect of my life. Like, when I was studying for my MCAT, I dreaded studying for it. It was like, it was just this thing that I had to do. It was always on the back burner. People were asking me 100 times a day, oh, how's your studying going? And it was like, oh, like, don't want to talk about it. It was just something that I was doing, and I was just going through the motions, and I wasn't enjoying it, and I was doing it because I was like, okay, it'll all be worth it one day, and everyone's got to put in their time, but I didn't, it was just draining, and I was just always exhausted, and I was irritable because people were on my, you know, butt about always getting to it, like my parents, and they could see I didn't have the drive. They would always say to me, they're like, you know, Michelle, we noticed that you're not really taking this seriously. Like, are you sure this is what you want? And I kept saying yes because I'd already made such a shift from what I had said prior that I, you know, paid the money for these courses. I felt like I almost had to say, yes, this is what I want. But I think I knew deep down, like, this wasn't going to happen. I could get in maybe, but I don't know if I actually would have gone through with it. So then when, you know, I put things in perspective and around March, realized, you know, physio has been what I wanted to do growing up, like my entire childhood, my entire adolescence. Like I always wanted to be physio. I have videos of me in my pool, like I found one recently of, I think like 6 or 7. My dad took a video, what do you want to do when you're older? I was like, I'm gonna be a physio. It's like, I've always wanted to do it. And then, yeah, I kind of took a detour. I went down that path. I don't regret it going down that path, but I took a detour and I saw what it was about, and I came back and I went, okay, not for me. For some people, not for me. And I went back to what I always knew. So once I did kind of go back on track, I found I was super confident in my decision. It took maybe like a couple days of humming and hawing, but honestly, since I decided, I haven't even looked back. Like I have felt such a relief and an excitement, and like I was saying, like, what can I do? Like, what can I do better my chances? Like, I'll go above and beyond. Like, I'll take on more than I probably could choose. Like, it's so worth it to me. Or before studying, wasn't worth it.
Sounds like the best thing you have ever done is take that detour, because I think it
confirmed,
reiterated everything and allowed you to move forward guilt-free, worry-free, regret-free.
Regret-free, 100%.
Knowing that there won't be a what if.
Yeah.
You know, and I know for myself, when I grew up doing this whole education thing, I went down so many different roads, and, you know, I can look back and I remember now thinking, you know, I do have regrets about not have following as true to my internal compass as I should have. So, I mean, it's a great thing to take those detours, because it makes it even more clear when you are on the right path, when you've been on the wrong one.
I always joke, and I was saying, like, you know, I feel like this is what it's going to be like when I read, like, The Right Man. Like, you just know, you know. It's like, I feel confident in this. Like, it just feels right. And even, it's so funny to see the personality types of the people I was studying for my MCAT with versus the people I work with. Like, the physios, not, like, the other support staff. But the physios, like, we are literally, like, the same people. I think that's why I get along, and I enjoy going to work. Like, I love my job. Like,
that's got to make it easy for you then.
Yeah. Again, it could just be that clinic. Like, that's one side of it. But even the placements I've had, volunteer opportunities I've had, like, I've always, always loved it. So,
are you seeing now any, I know before you were having some internal conflict in regards to how you were interacting with guys that you were dating and what was happening, how they were reacting to you, how they were.
When I would mention med school?
No, in general, how they were towards you, relationship wise, that they weren't really being what you needed them to be. Now that you have kind of identified this part of who you are, like a very true sense of who you are.
When you put it that way, yeah.
Well, now that you've really identified who you are and what your real goal is, are you feeling, I mean, you tell me, is there a shift in how you're seeing qualities in guys that you're attracted to? Are you feeling a shift in that perception as well?
Yeah. Again, like, since that day that I, like, sat down with you at lunch and I was like, Les, I'm going to change career paths here. You know, this is what it's hard to say, and I know a lot of people are going to give me a hard time, and I even have experienced a couple people say, oh, it's because you don't think you're smart enough, or, oh, you don't think you can do it, and it's, no, you know, this is really what I want. I had a couple people doubt it, but ever since that day, maybe like a couple, like, but around that time, like, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I found that I was like, you know what, like, I just need to focus on me. I need to be selfish. Like, I'm not looking to date right now, which is true. Like, I really am not looking for a serious relationship because I need to be selfish. My time, to me, is more beneficial to put towards my career now than a relationship that probably wouldn't last through physio school. So this is more valuable. I'd rather put it into my career and take on more, you know,
academic stuff that pushes you towards your goals.
Yeah, then, you know, stupid relationship stuff. That's a waste of time, you know? So I know at work, like, everyone's like, oh, are you looking to date? You should go here. You should try this. You should try, even my boss is like, you should try Match.com. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to date right now. Like, I would rather meet someone in physio school and kind of go through it with them. But, like, that's besides the point. Right now, like, I am good. Like, I literally just want to focus on me.
Yeah.
And I'm young. I need to be selfish. I can't worry about other people. I see my friends worrying about their boyfriends and, oh my God, this happened with their job and it stresses them out and this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with that right now. I just want to focus on me and my career and what I want. And then if they fit into my life and I fit into theirs, then it works. But I think since then, I've been very much like, I'm independent. I can do this myself. Like, I need to do this. I need to be selfish. And I've, like, accepted that, I think.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you've really kind of steered your way out of the detour that you were on for the past, I want to say, since you left university.
Yeah.
And you thought about this med school thing and that detour, you were also having the detour with the relationships as well and the struggles there.
It was like a desperate, like, give me anything to grab onto that's positive because I was so negative in my academic side of things. It was like, give me something to look forward to. But that was always a disappointment too. So
Is this the first time you've ever thought of the past male issues that you've had that way? That maybe you were grasping onto them for that purpose?
Yeah, something to look forward to, something to, you know, at the end of the day, like after studying, someone to like kind of brighten your day. But
is that maybe why you think they didn't work out?
I put a lot of pressure on it, but I think I think I'm difficult in a relationship.
What do you mean difficult?
I just expect, like, I don't know. That's a whole other, like, relationships don't work out for me for a variety of reasons. I do follow the same somewhat trend, but
do you think maybe that trend will change now that your path has changed?
I think now that I'm confident in my career and future, I almost expect a higher level of, like, not like babying anyone. Like, I don't want to, like, deal with, like, your petty problems. Like, I want, like, someone that's mature and also on that same level. I'm not looking for someone that's an in-between, like, oh, maybe this, maybe that, like the phase that I was in. I want someone that's like, nope, like, confident in what they're doing too. So I think before it was like standards were low because anything was fine for the time being. Now I think my standards have maybe shifted to like, I don't know, because I'm not out there looking, like, I don't know.
It sounds to me like you're looking for somebody who's as focused on their future as you are your own.
Yeah, for sure. There's
and
nothing more
that's
attractive
not
than
looking
someone
for somebody that's gonna want you to solve their problems, but somebody that
Yeah.
wants to grow with you and
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
Like you're evolving.
Yeah,
in
I
your
don't need to
physical
be.
therapy
Yeah, I
route.
don't need a child to take care of. And I think before that's what it was. Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers recently, and she was like, "You're like," she only met me a couple months ago, Julia, and she was like, "You're very much like a problem solver. Like you, people relay their issues on you, and you solve them, and you help them through it. And then as soon as they're done with that, you know, they fix all the problems, or you fix all the problems. They're on to actually meet someone." For real, like significant and committed because they left all their baggage with you and now they move on because you want to solve that. You want to, you know, baby them and like stuff like that.
That had to have hurt hearing that.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was true though. It's not like something I wasn't expecting to hear because I was giving her relationship advice. So obviously I have to be able to take it in return. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, I'm always someone that's like, oh, tell me what's wrong. Like, what happened? Oh my God, what can I do to help? Like, you know what I mean? Like someone that's just like that, and people take advantage of it. And I've been told many times, you're too nice. That's what it is. You're too nice. You're too nice. And it's like, well, I don't want to change who I am because someone should like appreciate that. But then I don't know. I can't like parent these children anymore. They need to solve it themselves. And now that I feel confident in what I want in the future, like I want someone that's also just as ambitious and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't want to waste my time on like someone that's just, I don't know, not going anywhere.
Is that what you have been wasting your time on, or guys that have not been going anywhere?
100%.
And is it possibly, like you had stated a few minutes ago, is it because you find comfort in fixing people's problems?
Maybe.
Do you feel like you serve a purpose more so when you're fixing their problems?
Yeah, like I'm helping them.
They don't have anything to gain from you? Is it kind of a comfort thing where if they're gaining something from you, like
there's
you
a reason
fixing their
to stay.
problems, they're going to stay more loyal to you? Do you feel like that's the only way you'll kind of be able to keep them with you, by fixing them?
I think I'm like also up for a challenge too. Like I like, even when it comes to jobs, I think I love problem solving. Like I just, it's part of a job that I've always had an interest in. And so for me, I just think that I went for guys that I wasn't looking a long-term future with. It was like an in-the-moment kind of thing. So if they weren't that smart, it didn't really bother me. Like I'm thinking a lot of the guys I've dated haven't been the brightest. And I thought, oh, it's fine for now, like whatever. And it's true, like it was fine for the moment. But I'm trying to think, who else like has it not really worked out with? Like, I know Cam wasn't that smart. Teddy wasn't that smart. They didn't have much going for them. Sean's not that smart. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know. I just think it was like an in the moment attention, and it's not like wrong to get attention or want attention, but yeah, I think like I'd keep myself still even now entertained for the entertainment purpose. But do I see myself even with Sean like long term? No, because I think we're on two different life paths. I think he's gonna do his, you know, athletic career, and then he will go wherever he wants, back to who knows where.
But for you, you seem to be still putting
into that,
time into them, time into these guys in general. And now, since you've really changed path and you are so focused, do you think that maybe you would be happier if you maybe changed your own personal criteria as to who you invest your own energy with?
Yeah, I think so. Like, even I'm thinking like the Yaya thing, like
that. Yaya's the ex-boyfriend.
I'd probably even give him that amount of credit. Ex-fling, yeah. But again, like he didn't have much going for him, so it was like, it was around that time that I started to realize what I wanted, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy just doesn't know what he wants. He's too aloof. Like, it's not gonna work. I was someone that was like wanting answers.
Did any of these guys ever say, Michelle, I want us to be exclusive, you're my girlfriend?
Not in the last 2 years. 2 years ago 3 years ago was probably the last one.
How do you feel about that? The lack of guys wanting to be exclusive with you. Do you feel that reflects at all on any parts of how you see
I think it's
them?
because I'm so laid back that they see me as a fun time, but they know they don't need to put the commitment in with me in order to keep that fun time going.
Is that how you want them to see you?
No, but like I said, like I'm in the phase of my life right now where I'm enjoying being single, So I wouldn't want that commitment right now. Like, even if Andrew was like, God, it sounds like I have a lot of night going.
That's okay.
Even if Andrew was like, Michelle, like, we should date, I'd be like, honestly, I'm like, one, I know I can do better, like, intellectually wise, and two, I would be like, I'm really not looking for that right now. Like, I am looking to meet a bunch of people, have my fun, because the way I see it is I have my whole life to be married and to make a relationship. I'm only young once, like, and I'm gonna go to school, let's say, a year or two. I feel like then I really have to grow up. Like, this is my time to just learn through going so many relationships. I learn what I want and what I don't want through each one. You know, red flags. I learned that going through each one. So I think every relationship is a learning experience. Obviously, you have to go through some, like, disappointment and getting upset over things. But, like, even looking back to the Yaga thing, like, I literally don't remember even the last time I was even a little bit upset about it or even, like, really put thought to it, because it was like, okay, I learned a lesson. I don't know. Well, maybe because my attendance not Sean now, but I don't know. It's just, I'm in that phase of, like, let's just have fun with it. Like, not, like, I don't want any commitment, but.
So what's your goals? What's your short-term goals? Let's say for the rest of 2018.
Okay.
What's your goals?
So honestly, when I hear goals right away, I think of, like, career.
Okay.
Like, I literally nothing else comes to mind.
Nothing wrong with that.
So for me, 2018 short-term goals would be, one, to get through my application of physio, because I have to apply come January 1st.
Okay.
So get all my reference letters in line, get all my volunteer experience, like everything like that, all my research done, like everything that I need to do to further my career. I want that in, like, the final stages.
Okay. Any personal goals other than
I think I want to be better with money management, but that's just, like, a just general one.
Is that a point of stress for you? Do you worry about that often?
I'm just really bad at spending money, and I know I need to save for grad school.
Okay.
But, like, it doesn't stress me out every day.
Have you thought about a method of doing that, or a plan? Have you maybe reached out to somebody at your bank, a financial planner, somebody that can help you?
I'm actually not as bad as I used to be. Like, I definitely, like, now that I'm working full-time and making money, like, it doesn't stress me out. When I was working once or twice a week when trying to study for my med school, then, yeah, I was, because I was still seeing friends and doing these social things, where now it's like one dinner isn't going to kill me. But I'm someone, again, very social, that I will work all week. My weekends, I want to go out and I want to, you know, see friends and do stuff. It's just, it's always, like, expensive. So I need to nip that in the bud. Like, even this weekend, I'm not going anywhere.
But how are you going to actually do that? There's a want, and then there's how are you going to actually
That's the thing. I think I'm still in the want phase of that.
Okay.
I don't know.
But you realize that is a problem, and you know you want to fix it. You just haven't really committed.
Isn't step one admitting, though, like, they have a problem? Because I'm there.
Yes, there's the 6 steps of change, but I mean,
I'm
the
like
big
on step
thing,
1.
I think more your step 6. The whole, you know, when you go, and step 6 is actually when you relapse. And you go back to your ways, because I think you've tried to save before.
Yeah.
And then you relapsed a few times, which is okay. So I think we're maybe rolling into step 3 here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with that said, I think that, you know, all in all, if I'm going to recap all of this, because we should probably wrap it up, is you are in a really great place.
I'm in a stage of change.
Are in a stage of change, but you're in a stage of controlled, self-chosen change. You are not being led by exterior forces you have no control over. All of this is a proven choice that was proven as the right choice for you by your previous wrong choice of going to med school. Yeah. And now you are here. Yep. You're confirmed. You seem to have a very clear idea as to what you do and do not want in a relationship. You know, you clearly still have some work to do there.
Yeah, I'm always learning. Yeah.
I think everybody is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really, other than kind of figuring out what you want to do in regards to, you know, dating and maybe prioritizing yourself a little higher.
Yeah, and that's
in relationships with men.
I think that will start once I actually start seriously looking for someone. Okay. I will set those boundaries, but I don't think I'm there yet to set them because I don't feel like I need them there yet.
But do you think that maybe you're in doing so, do you feel that maybe you are, though, kind of selling yourself short in how much lack of respect that you accept from them because you're acting like it's no big deal?
Yeah, of course. Like you question, like I question things that I do. But like I can't take back the past.
No,
I see it as that way.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. I think even like when it comes to the med school thing, like I had to go through that.
Absolutely.
I had to fail in order to realize what I wanted.
Did you fail though? I feel like you didn't fail. I feel like from everything you told me is you gave it your all and you decided to go. So why would you define that
when
as failure?
When I say fail, I mean like it sounds so stupid, but I failed to be passionate about it. Okay. Like I set that goal to like love it and study and this and that, and I just failed at putting in the effort and enjoying it.
So you feel like you deliberately didn't put in effort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I knew it wasn't right.
And you see that as a failure?
Not as I don't know if I'd say failure in that sense.
Because you
think the whole I think the whole. Okay, I should take back failure because, like I said, like I need to go down that path. That's not a failure to me. I think.
It was an exploration. It was proof.
Yeah, and it wasn't a waste of time because it was the time to do it. I'm in that phase of my life now.
And I feel like what you learned, which is what propelled you in your right direction, as you called it, is invaluable. That's something you could have never paid for. You never could have planned that amount of reassurance that your actual path is the right one.
Yeah.
Many people go through life never getting that sort of reassurance, that sort of absolute that I'm doing the right thing. You have that. Yeah. That's a pretty big step.
Like I can confidently
say. That's a pretty big gift that your pre-described failure actually gave you something that a lot of people, grown adults, never get. Which is reassurance that they are 100% doing the right thing and on the right path.
Yeah, I'm happy to know that now because I know that's people good. Like some people still never feel it. They're like I go through the motions, like
that's
you know.
Right.
But I can tell, like even like I have friends like Erica, who say the day that you decided, literally I saw a shift in your attitude, your personality, like how excited you are, and like you're not just weighed down by this thing that's constantly on your mind stressing you out. It was like a stress was taken off, like, but a good one, and it was like meant to be, and it wasn't like, oh my god, now I don't have to study because I know I've got a lot of work ahead of me and I'm putting in a lot of work now for it, but it's work that's worth it.
Got it.
You know, so Erica was like, she's like, honestly, Michelle, like this is so meant for you. Like you are so excited. I can tell you're so passionate about it. Like you talk like so fast and loud when you talk about it. Like she's like, this is you. And I'm like, I know. Like it feels right.
So that's good. I mean, it seems like you are on the right path. You're starting to really pivot your thought and how you see relationships, how you value them, how you want to be valued in them, which is a good thing. And we all always keep working on that, and I'm sure you're going to keep working on that. I would suggest for our next one, maybe between now and then, if you're having encounters with any of the guys that you're currently talking to, maybe journal them and reflect back on them and see if there's something that maybe if that was your friend telling you this, what would your advice be to that friend? Yeah. Because sometimes we give great advice, we just don't take it. Yeah. And that happens.
Too often.
That happens sometimes. And then the other thing that I want you to work on before our next talk is you have so many resources available to you through banks, through your friends, through your parents. Yeah. Even with yourself and your own research on Google of ways that you can actively, painlessly save. And I mean, you're already so carefree right now and so happy and kind of riding this positive vibe of being on your right path, and the sense of relief I can tell, and how you described it as well, this sense of relief that you know you're on the right path. You should ride that and, you know, enjoy and kind of go with the feeling of not having to worry about things and make that one less thing that you have to worry about. Because if you set up some sort of saving plan where, you know, X amount of dollars per transaction, I know that they have some things where it's like 10, 15, 20, 25 cents off of each
Yeah, I know that.
transaction gets put in an account, you never
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
You don't notice it because it's cents, it's dollars and cents. You don't notice it in your bank account.
Yeah.
That adds up. I mean, something like that I suggest you doing, and you know, I mean, how do you feel about doing those sorts of things?
Sean was pushing me to do that.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, here's this app you should get." I'm like, okay, but it's true. I should.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I'll look into it.
All right, good. I mean, is there anything else you want to go over or talk about? Are you feeling good about all of these things?
Are we allowed to ask advice?
You can ask me all the advice you want. I mean, it's you. It's your decision. It's your life. I'm just here to help you make your own best choices.
Okay. So, in regards to relationships then, so I've almost cut all of them. Like, and I haven't really been, like, regretting or overthinking or even, like honestly, even thinking at all about the past ones, just because, again, my focus is so much now on my career. Like, I'm 50 hours a week. I'm in the office, and then my weekends, I'm so busy. Like, I honestly don't even have time to think about it. But when I do talk to Sean, like, he's the one that I can talk to at the end of the day. And it's nice to catch up with someone at the end of the day, and I know there's no future there, but I'm like, okay, for right now, it's keeping me entertained. Like, is that a bad idea? Is that, like, trouble? Is that dangerous to do?
I mean, I think that you're the only one that knows if it's dangerous or not. Are you feeling like you're not performing to the level that you should be because of your interactions with him?
Like at work?
Yeah.
No. Because I don't talk to him at all during the day.
Do you feel like he's distracting you from your goals with your school or with your family life or your friends?
I don't think so.
Are you in a positive place? Do you get a positive kind of payout from your interactions with him?
I'd say 90% of the time. Like, even last night, I went out with my girlfriends, and then when I got home at, like, I don't know, 2 in the morning, he was, like, just wanting to chit-chat about, like, our days for an hour.
So basically, to summarize, you have a guy who's a pen pal, who's somebody you went to school with.
Yeah.
And you have a good relationship with him, and you're wondering if...
Like, he's treated me like shit in the past.
Okay.
And it's a possibility it could happen in the future. But I'm not banking on it in the future like I was in the past. Like, I'm not, like, saying, where could this go? Maybe it could work out. Like, I'm just, like...
Did you forgive him, or are you still hurt over things?
It's weird to say, but I feel like I just don't give a shit. Like, I'm like, if we don't talk tomorrow, that's fine. If we do, that's fine. I'm just kind of indifferent about it.
Would you miss him if you didn't talk to him every day?
Probably because it's my routine.
And would that compromise your ability to be as focused as you are?
I think I'd be upset. Like, if he texted me and was like, listen, I never want to talk to you again, I'd probably be like, I'd probably take more offense to it because I'd be like, why? And I wouldn't get it at this point. But
and would that leak over into your ability to be as focused as you are?
No, but only because I think of the kind of job I have. If I was at a desk job or something like that, yes, but I'm so busy, I do not have a single second to think at work about anything else. Like, I've been more upset, like, way more upset, even during the yoga thing. Like, I have been so upset, but, like, the whole day at work, I didn't even think about it. So, again, like, I love everyone I work with, so, like, they keep me upbeat. They keep me, like, it keeps it off of my mind.
But we're talking about him, right? And then what you want for him and if he's okay in your life.
Yeah, I just don't know
You're the only one who can decide that. Because it's your time that you're giving to him.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the thing, like, I know, I just have to consider it. Because to me, I'm like, well, it's not hurting me right now. Like, I see it as harmless, but I'm like, exactly, what if? Like, what could it hurt me in the future if I do get invested for some reason?
Is maybe you asking proof that you're somewhat invested?
I don't know.
It sounds like you have a lot of thinking to do on him, and I don't think any amount of anything I say is going to change what's right or wrong, because that's something, it's you, it's your life, and it's a decision that you have to come to on your own. At the end of the day, you've made it clear that there's a benefit to him and your relationship, despite the negative points that we all have in every relationship. Nothing's always perfect.
Yeah, like, I like talking to him, like, we have good conversations, even if it's just, like, about how I hurt my knee, like, we'll have good conversations about our day or this and that, and he's actually, like, it's not all it, like, used to be, like, it's a little, in the last...
It's grown.
I think so. Like, now he'll text me throughout the day, how's work, How
so
are you
the
doing?
shift in what the relationship was versus to what the relationship is.
We're more
that
friendly
growth?
now.
Is that what's bothering you? Is that things are growing?
It's weird to me. For him to text me, how's your work day going? How's your knee feeling?
You got to figure out why.
Why he's being like that?
No,
or why
it
I'm
affects
overthinking?
you.
I think it's because I'm like, this is so not him. Like, what is he doing? Is he setting me up to hurt me? Or is he like I'm just like questioning, why are you being like this?
So there's a lack of trust there.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Well, I think that can be a whole other session.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest, but I do want you to kind of think about those questions that I asked you. What are you getting out of it? Is there any negative? Is there any positive? And, is it deterring any other parts, or is it benefiting parts in your life?
I think it puts me in a good mood. But yeah,
and you have to ask yourself, is that enough? Because
Yeah.
you are the only one that can come up with those answers, and you're the only one who can really self-reflect on those. So between doing your financial stuff, really reflecting on these relationships, like I said, the journaling thing, this is one of those things where maybe coming up with the pros and cons of Sean might actually, I know it sounds dorky, but it could actually be one of those things where you could mind map your way, linking passages of pros and cons that could really bring you out to something. But there is no piece of advice I can give other than go there in your head. Go through those questions. Think about the uncomfortable questions when it comes to him. And reflect on how you feel doing that. Because, I think once you do those pieces, you will start to be able to answer those questions for yourself. But, I'm going to call this what it is, a really good session.
Yep, I agree.
I appreciate you sitting down with me, and I think that you're in a really good place, and you're just going to continue going that way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm an upward trend right now.
Absolutely.
I feel
awesome.
pretty good.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Anytime, of course.
Thank you.